got any kids, bro? All right. Do you have parents? If you didn't do what your parents told you to do, what would they do? They'll punish you, right? So as a God, we say we're the children of God, right? Do you not think that he will punish his children for disobedience? He did. That's why we were enslaved in Cuba. The prophets were so mad, and people like you and the rest of us who was in that lifestyle, he put hands on them for dating the other nation. He laid hands on them for marrying the heathen. That's what you're in the midst of right now. God doesn't approve. I want you to think about something. Because you said you're Cuban, right? Your dad is from Cuba. You know what's going on in Cuba right now? No, guess what? Our women are getting sex trafficked. There's no civil liberties. Our people dying from the COVID vaccine at an alarming rate. Did you know that? There's no health care. Did you know it's a communist country? It's authoritative. Our people are enslaved there. Our people have no rights. They have no food. They're waiting in line for hours and hours on hours just to get on the bus. You know this is what's going on in Cuba? The question is, why? Why is this happening to the tribe of Manasseh? Why are they on an island in which they were on first, conquered by a nation of people that was not there? Conquered by a nation of people who spoke a different language, who gave them a religion and made them serve it. Conquered by people that looked like this and told them that this was Jesus Christ. Why? Verse 15.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15.
Bring it out.
But it shall come to pass.
If somebody says something is, it shall come to pass, that means it's going to happen in the future, right? Come on.
If thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
He said if we don't hearken unto the voice of the Lord. Right now you hear my what? My voice. Right. Therefore you understand what I'm saying. And if you believe what I'm saying, you'll take heed and do it, right? God said when his voice is coming out, which is the Bible, we wouldn't listen to it. Right. What would happen? Come on.
To observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
God said that all these curses would happen to us if we didn't do what he said. Right. You got any kids, bro? All right. Do you have parents? If you didn't do what your parents told you to do, what would they do? They'll punish you, right? So as a God, we say we're the children of God, right? Do you not think that he will punish his children for disobedience?
Bring it out.
He did. Right. That's why we were enslaved in Cuba. That's why our people speak Spanish. That's why we've been given false religion. That's why our people protesting every day out there, and it's to no avail. Right. Because God's commandments is the only thing that can get us out of this condition. For example, read.
Verse 16. Cursed shall thy be in the city.
Cursed shall thou be in the city. You go to any city in America, any city in the world, you want to find our people, the blacks and Hispanics, are you going to go to the good part of that city or the bad part? You can go to the bad part, right? Because we're going to be where they slinging rocks. We're going to be where the potholes. We're going to be where they tow blocks, right? We're going to be where they making rap videos with guns everywhere. That's where we're going to be at. Why? Yeah. Because God said we'll be in the worst part of the city. Is this is where we go come get gas? Is that where we go get groceries? Why is it that in the rich part they got Sam's Club? They building the Costco's. But guess what? They gave you a Family Dollar. Right. Gave you a Dollar General.
Bring it out.
Guess what? Your food stamps should suffice, right? But why not set those other places where we are? Right. Because they want us eating the worst foods. Because they can kill us internally. They're killing us in every way possible. Wow. If they're not killing you right here, they're going to put you in a prison and give you slop. You see what I'm saying? Read.
And cursed shall thy be in the field.
Cursed shall thou be in the field. When Christopher Columbus got to the Western world, what did he make the Hispanics do? He made them pick strawberries, made them pick bananas. Because on these islands, these are fertile lands. Our people had to slave on their own land for the other nations, and they did not receive the benefits from it. Right. Why? Because we broke God's commandments. Right. You see that? Verse 37.
Verse 37. And thou shalt be coming in astonishment, a proverb and a byword among all nations.
What's your last name, bro? Williams? So is Williams a Hispanic name? No. Or should I say a Spaniard name? No. Williams is an English name from a nation of people that conquered us. Is the name Williams in the Bible? No. Why? Because that's not our name. God said the blacks and Hispanics will become a byword. You see that? Meaning we'll be called by something that's not in the Bible.
Right.
Not our God-given name. Read.
Among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee, thou shalt carry much seed out into the field, and shalt gather but little in.
That's exactly what our people was doing.
Right.
You working, and you ain't got nothing to show for it. Back then it was in the field, we planting. We seen the harvest supposed to come around, it's not coming. Why? Because God cursed us. But look at it today. You filling out all these job applications. You're trying to get out of the unemployment route. But guess what? It's always something coming up. You losing your job, right? What happened in 2019? Everybody lost their job due to COVID. Why is it that we don't see these things and say, maybe I should keep God's commandments. Maybe I should come out of fornication. Because you smoke, right? Are we supposed to do that? No. Why do you do it? Because that's what you want to do. Tell me this. Do you want to die? Do you want to burn forever? So what should you stop doing? You should stop smoking. You should stop doing things that God said not to do. That's your girlfriend over there? Okay, so I got a couple questions about that. According to the Bible, is boyfriend and girlfriend in there? Are we supposed to just have casual relationships in which we smash? Because you be smashing, right? You be kissing her, right? Is that biblical? No, so why do you do it? It's the life that you chose, right? You choosing death. Is her nation on that side? Is she a black, Hispanic, or Native American? No. Guess what that's called? Fornication. Interracial marriage, interracial dealings. If you are truly from the tribe of Manasseh because your dad is a Cuban, you are to have no dealings with the other nations.
Right.
Deuteronomy 7:3. Read what you got. Because we are the Israelites. These curses prove that we are the Israelites. We went into slavery for breaking God's commandments. Therefore, we should keep what? God's commandments. Read what you got.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 3.
Come on.
Neither shall thou make marriages with them. The daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son.
So do you love God? All right, so 1 John 5:3. Can you love God without doing anything that he tell you to do? What if she tell you she loved you, right? What's your name? Your first name? Benny? Bentley? We'll say, I love you, Bentley. But she's smashing on every ride in the neighborhood. She hopping from ride to ride, putting everything in her mouth. Would you believe it if she said she loved you? No. Same thing with God. God said, how you gonna say you love me and you're not faithful? That's what he's saying. Read what you got.
Book of 1 John, chapter 5 and verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous.
God said if you love him, you will keep his commandments and not be grieved by doing it.
Right.
So one of God's commandments, not to have any dealings with the other nations in marriage. Guess what? When you have sex with a woman, it's supposed to turn into marriage. You're supposed to endow her to be your wife. You can't do that with a white woman. With a white girl, you can't do that. You understand? God said, marry your nation. Make children with your seed, that our seed may be glorified, that we may grow, and that we may have an inheritance.
Right.
Can you do that with other nations? No, not according to the Bible. Guess what? I know you gotta go, bro, but hear me out. You like the conditions that we in? Yeah. No, we gotta do something to get out of this, bro. The only solution is God's commandments. It don't matter how long we protest. It don't matter how long we scream no justice, no peace. As long as we break God's commandments, we're gonna fill up the prisons. As long as we break God's commandments, we're gonna be on Section 8.
Bruh.
We're gonna be in the trap house.
Bruh.
You understand? You're gonna be smoking to try to bring peace to your life. That ain't gonna bring you peace. Because after that high go away, you right back at square one, right? It didn't do nothing for you. Keep God's commandments and live. Yeah, read that.
The book of Nehemiah, chapter 13 and verse 25.
You started 23.
Verse 23. In those days also saw I Jews that had married wives of Ashdod and of Ammon and of Moab.
God said, or the prophet Nehemiah, Ezra, we was raising up to rebuild the nation, right? And as we look around, we see, wait, all these people married to heathens. Just like you see today. The black man, he get rich, what's the first thing he do? I'm going to give me a white woman.
Right.
I'm going to give me an Asian persuasion.
Right.
That's the same thing that was going on during the time of the prophets. That was going on. Read.
And their children spake half in speech of Ashdod, and could not speak in the Jews' language.
Guess what? Now you see our kids are going off into the language of those other nations. The religion of those other nations.
Right.
The philosophies of those other nations.
Right.
That's what happens when you do interracial marriage. Come on.
But according to the language of people, and I contended with them, and cursed them, and smote certain of them, and plucked off their hair, and made them swear by God, saying, Ye shall not give your daughters unto their sons.
The prophets were so mad, and people like you and the rest of us who was in that lifestyle, he put hands on them for dating the other nations.
Right.
He laid hands on them for marrying the heathens.
Right.
That's what you in the midst of right now. God doesn't approve. Come on.
Nor take their daughters unto your sons, or for yourselves. Did not Solomon, king of Israel, sin by these things?
Guess what you in, bro? Guess what you in by talking to the other nations.
Bring it out.
By dating the other nations. It's sin.
Ah.
Sin. Sin is the reason why we at the bottom of society.
Right.
Sin is the reason we went on slave ships.
Right.
Sin is the reason why we work dead-end jobs. Sin is the reason why you're not on the throne right now.
That's
Right.
Sin. You know what's a sin? You dating her. You know what's a sin? You not having on fringes. You not keeping the Sabbath day holy.
Right.
You cutting into your beard to get the chin strap. These are all sins. You eat bacon, you eat pork, that's sin.
right.
You smoking, that's sin. You in the midst of all sin. And you wonder why we here. Judah. You wonder why we in this condition. It's because of the sins that you in. Yeah, somebody get him a flyer. Get the brother a flyer. Watch this. Before you leave, I want you to hear this scripture. Judah chapter 5, I believe.
The book of Judith, chapter 5 and verse 20.
it out.
Now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error in this people,
Guess what, bro? You in error. We was in error. Before we was up here teaching you, we was in the same errors that you in.
that's right,
Got the heathen understood that if these people are in error, come on,
and they sin against their God.
and they sin against their God, because we have a God of our own.
That's right.
Guess what? The people that look like this is their God.
Right.
The people in Asia, they have a God. His name is Buddha. People in India, they have a God. His name is Krishna. Her name. The other nations have gods. They're idols.
Right.
Us, we have a God too. The God of the Israelites. A black man with white woolly hair who sent his black son with white woolly hair to die for us. That when we came back to the commandments, we will be out of this condition. Come on.
Let us consider that this shall be their ruin, and let us go up, and we shall overcome them.
This was our ruin. This is why we ended up here, and this is how the other nations overcame us.
Right.
Come on.
But if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass by, lest their Lord defend them.
Whenever we come back to God's commandments, whenever you put her away, you stop smoking, you get you some fringes, you keep the Sabbath day, God is going to return and bring us out of this condition.
That's right.
Come on.
And their God be for them.
Our God is going to be for us. You will no longer be a Williams, but you will be known by the name of Israel.
Right.
Come on.
That's right.
And we become a reproach before all the world.
We will no longer be a reproach before all the world. That's the end of that.
Yes, sir.
So, what's your nationality according to the Bible? Huh? Cuban. Is Cuban in the Bible? No. So, what's your nationality according to the Bible? We just went over it. Israelite. We are the 12 tribes of Israel. Cubans are from the tribe of Manasseh.
That's right.
The blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are God's chosen people, and He has a requirement for them.
We used to scream black power while Heron was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.